Good morning, boys and girls. It is Wednesday, the 6th of May, and we're going to get right into our lesson today. So I wanted to share something with you guys, and let's get to it. It's actually not this screen. It's going to be this screen. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. Okay, so we're talking about making connections today, and this is going to be referring to nonfiction text and how that makes a connection with our fantasy book. Okay, so let's look here. We have pictures here. I'm going to make a connection with what we did yesterday. So yesterday we talked about how we can see the same themes in fantasy and some historical characters. So we spoke yesterday about Ruby Bridges and how she was an ordinary person who was capable of great courage. And then we can see that same thing with Harvey in our read aloud, The Thief of Always, right? Because he's just a regular person, but he's very capable of his great courage that he's showing right now. So our teaching point for today is that I want to teach you that readers of fantasy can refer to nonfiction texts to more fully understand the world that they are reading about. That's you guys. You guys are the readers, right? You are readers of fantasy, and you are now able to go back and look at some nonfiction and maybe better understand our story, okay? And really better understand our world, right, that we're living in. Okay, so let's try this together, okay? And then I'm going to ask you guys to do this on your own. Let's check it out. What is an important holiday in our book? Okay, so The Thief of Always actually has several really important holidays, and it mentions Christmas, of course, and Christmas is significant, but I think that the most important holiday that we're talking about in our book is, of course, Halloween, right? It's recurring, it's a constant theme, or at least a constant setting for what we're talking about in our story, okay? Pardon the kitty in the background. So as you remember, maybe with our Pawnee Football Club video clip, we can read nonfiction or we can watch a clip. So in this case, we're gonna watch a clip for Halloween, and I don't know if I can get this up on this screen, but I'm sure gonna try. And give me just a second. There it goes. Maybe. That's not the right one. Sorry about the ads.
People think of Halloween. They think of trick-or-treating, parades, bobbing for apples, and other family-friendly activities. But bet you didn't know the true story behind the ancient origins of Halloween. It all goes back some 2,000 years to the ancient Celtic festival known as Samhain, celebrated on November 1st. On the night before Samhain, people believed that the dead returned as ghosts. They would leave food and wine on their doorsteps to keep roaming spirits at bay, and wear masks when they left the house so they would be mistaken for fellow ghosts. The Christian church turned Samhain into All Saints' Day, or All Hallows, in the 8th century. The night before became All Hallows' Eve, later shortened to Halloween. You've heard of trick-or-treating on Halloween, but what about souling or guising? All three of these traditions originated in medieval Britain. On All Souls' Day, November 2nd, the needy would beg for pastries known as soul cakes. In return, they would pray for people's dead relatives. This was called souling. In the medieval Halloween tradition of guising, young people would dress up in costume and accept food, wine, money, and other offerings in exchange for singing, reciting poetry, or telling jokes. In 19th century America, Irish and Scottish immigrants revived these old traditions. The result was trick-or-treating. First, it was much more about the tricks, in the form of pranks and hijinks, than the treats. It wasn't until the 1950s that the custom took on its current family-friendly, kid-centric form. Today, Halloween is big business, with U.S. consumers spending more than $2.5 billion on costumes annually. Add in the candy, and it's estimated that Americans spend up to $6 billion on Halloween each year. making it the second most commercial holiday after Christmas. So whether you're a fan of tricks, treats, or trivia, there's a bit of Halloween history that you didn't know.
Okay. So, of course, I think that that's interesting for a variety of reasons, right? There's lots that we can learn from that. Just it was like a 2-minute clip, right? And there's lots that we can learn just from looking at that. So I'm going to put this to use for our example, okay? When I read this, right, because I really didn't read it, I watched it, but it's still the same. It made me realize that I had never heard of the term souling, right? So I became a little bit more curious about it, which is what happens when we hear things that we don't know, right? It's okay to not know things. That's actually what makes you a great person, is being curious about it. Did y'all know that? A great reader too. And then what that was, what why that was a practice, and then does this relate to our story today? I'm not even sure that I picked the best example, to be honest with you. I actually, when I was rewatching it, I kind of felt like there was maybe more, but you guys can have an opportunity to come up with your own examples today. The term souling means to pray for people's dead relatives. It made me think about Harvey and how his parents thought that he was dead for all this time, right? So I wonder kind of what that looked like in their family, and if that were relevant and a practice that we use today. I wonder if that's what happened at Harvey's house. Okay, so here's our stop and jot for today. I want you to think about the clip that we just watched and how we can relate our nonfiction to our fantasy book. Okay, so what is one other thing that you learned about Halloween in that clip? You might want to go back and rewatch it. And how does this help you better understand Harvey's thoughts and actions on Halloween throughout the book? Okay, that's your stop and jot for today. If you'll just log into your SSO, then onto your Canvas for language arts, of course, you're going to respond to that question of the day. Be sure to hit the submit button when you have finished and you have checked your spelling. And then reading logs will be entered on Friday's quiz in Canvas for our write long that day. All right, well, I hope you guys are having a great day. And I hope that these videos are helpful to you guys. And, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Keep watching, keep being amazing, keep being your awesome selves. And I hope that we can see you soon. I know that they're talking about doing some sort of pickup later in May if you have any items. So if you do have any items at school, if you could just reach out to me, just send me an email and be like, yes, I think I left my sweatshirt, or I have a lunch kit, or whatever it is that you want me to look for there. And I'll be glad to look for that for you next week. All right, guys, and we'll get back with you on a date later that we will be having those pickups. So it's not this week and it's not next week. It might be the week after that. Okay. I hope you guys are having a great day, and we will see you maybe on the Zoom today. Bye, guys.